It's the final problem. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm done. So let's take a look at this. Find the perimeter of the figure. So we are going to need to find the distance all the way around the edge of this sucker. So that and that. All of this stuff. So we're going to have to use a bunch of trig, find a bunch of missing sides. I know, you're so excited. I can tell. So let's jump right on in. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and define some variables to get us started here. I'm going to go ahead and call this side here W. And I'm going to call this long side here, that's going to be X. And this is split into two equal parts, and only half of it is part of the perimeter, and only half of it's part of this other triangle. So that is something we'll have to deal with, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So let's see, we got WX, let's call this one Y, and let's call this other one here Z. Alright, now we need to start solving for these. So let's look at what we've got here. So we have our 33-degree angle. We look at 8 here is across from it, so 8 is the opposite side. W is the adjacent side. And X is the hypotenuse here. Now we can start setting this up. Let's pick for one to solve first. I'm going to go with W first. So if I want to solve for W, I need to ask myself which one of those ratios uses opposite and adjacent. Well, if you said tangent, you would be correct. So tangent of 33 is equal to opposite side 8 over adjacent side W, and we can pull our little switcheroo here, and that means W is going to be equal to 8 divided by tangent 33. And I know there's not a ton of space on your notes, so we're just going to have to do the best you can. I'm not going to do it on the screen because that takes more time, so I'm just going to do it on my calculator down here. So if I do 8 divided by tangent of 33, that gives me about, so it's 12.318, so I'm going to go ahead and go with hundredths place, and I'm going to say that's about 12.32. W is approximately 12.32. That's this one here, 12.32. Right, now that while we're still in this triangle, let's take a look at X, and actually we have to because we can't do anything with this triangle until we know a little bit more about what's going on over here. So, I've got opposite, and I'm looking for hypotenuse, so which one of those uses opposite and hypotenuse? Sine! Yep, sine. So the sine of 33 would be equal to opposite side 8 divided by hypotenuse X. And we can play our switcheroo here. So X is equal to 8 divided by sine of 33, which ends up being just about 14.69. It rounds up, so let's do that. So that's 14.69, which is something we needed to know, but we need to actually split that in half because we've got these two parts, and one of those is going to go in the perimeter and the other one is going to be the bottom side of this triangle. So if I divide 14.69 by 2, I get about 7.35. If I'm sticking with hundredths places, then that's what that's roughly going to be. So it's about 7.35. So this part here is about 7.35, and this part right here is also about 7.35. So now we need to find our other two side values here. So looking at what I've got that 64-degree angle, and with respect to that, this side here, 7.35, would be the adjacent side. Y is the longest one across from the right angle, so that one is the hypotenuse. And then Z is the one that's not touching 64 degrees, right across, so that would be the opposite side. So let's find let's go with Y first. So I'm gonna need to use my 7.35 here, and usually that's not what I would want to do, but, whoops, it's not gonna work very well. There's not a good way to use an exact value for that one. So we're just gonna use the 7.35. So then we're looking for Y here, so you'd have to ask yourself, which thing uses adjacent and hypotenuse? And the answer would be cosine uses adjacent and hypotenuse. So the cosine of 64, so remember, of the angle, don't just write cosine equals, that would be very wrong. So cosine of 64 is equal to 7.35 divided by Y. And then we pull our switcheroo here, so Y is going to be 7.35 divided by cosine of 64. Which gives me 16.766. So that is about 16.77. So that's this side right here, 16.77. And then the last side we need to find here is just Z. So I'm going to take my adjacent side, and now I'm using my opposite side, and the one that uses opposite and adjacent is tangent, right? Bringing it back again, so tangent, opposite and opposite and adjacent. So here we go, last one of these sides. So then we know that the tangent of 64 is going to be equal to opposite side Z divided by adjacent side 7.35. So that means Z, I need to multiply by 7.35. So that's going to be 7.35 times tangent 64. And then I put that in my calculator. And it gives me 15.069, so about 15.07. Sweet, so we found so many things. Now we are almost done. All that's left to do is to just add them all up to find the perimeter of this. So remember that you don't want to forget about the 8 right here. That is one of the sides that needs to be included in this. So we need to add up here 8 plus 12.32 plus 7.35 plus 16.77 plus 15.07, and if we do that, we should get that the perimeter is I got 59.51. And there aren't specific units, so just 59.51. And it doesn't specify what to round to, so I'm going to leave it in hundredths and not go higher than that and round to a whole number or anything like that. So there you go. We've covered everything we needed to cover. So good job. So if you have questions, please email me, megande@provo.edu. I know that this particular lesson, there was a lot in it. It's all new stuff. So really, if you're stuck, you gotta let me know. I want to help you out. I want to get you caught up and where you need to be. So I guess that's all for now. Miss you guys. Miss teaching live for real. And I will be in contact later. Bye.